Okay. To me, the old-time religion, Christianity, and the Ku Klux Klan is synonymous. So I believe I'm giving them a good Christian upbringing.
Just a table away from where she was teaching her girls, other Klan members were busily stuffing envelopes with KKK literature. And in between burping and feeding her infant son, Pendergraft was taking care of Klan business.
We want people who are success-oriented and join the organization because they have a love for our people, not necessarily because, you know, they hate someone else. All right.
But she's not exactly teaching her kids acceptance of others. For instance, listen to what she says about Sesame Street.
Elmo thinks Whoopi's skin is a very pretty brown.
Sesame Street promotes a one-world agenda. It promotes social integration, which we believe leads to intermarriage and genocide of the white race.
My name is Thomas Robb, National Director for Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. And
Pendergraft thinks one day she may take over for her father. If so, she would most likely be the first female leader of a male-dominated Klan. And she already seems to know the battle cry.
It's our nation, our future that's at stake, and we need women in the movement.
Not only do I not want to be around non-white people, I don't want to be around white people who are not racially conscious.
Unlike the other women we've met, Christina Metzger says that she wasn't taught to hate as a child. Instead, she learned many of her bigoted beliefs from her father-in-law, Tom Metzger. He's the founder of White Aryan Resistance, or WAR, and host of a show called Race and Reason.
Women are coming forward in droves like they never did before because they see their home, their children's being attacked in the school.
WAR's rallying cry is far more violent than the other groups we visited. Take a look at its website, filled with racist and anti-Semitic cartoons. This group is not softening its message to attract women, but apparently it doesn't have to. Christina is just one of many women to join in the past decade. And now she is one of its leaders, who, along with her husband, John, create the website and a newspaper, also covered in sick, violent images.
The critics of your organization say that you are, far more so than other groups, encouraging violence.
Good.
Why is that good?
I say resist what's going on now because it's so wrong for our race.
So how are their children raised? The Metzgers wouldn't let us meet or photograph their 3 young sons, but we acquired this video from them of a war festival from the late 1980s and early 90s. Here, children were encouraged to join in the neo-Nazi and anti-government activities. Kids even watched as adults burned swastikas and the American flag. Christina and John Metzger plan to pass these family prejudices onto their children.
You'd have no problem saying to your children, here's the lesson I want you to learn from your mother.
Here's the lesson. Exactly.
You should hate that person over there.
I would have no problem, and I have had no problem saying that child will not be a best friend to you. That child will not come home for dinner. That child, because they are of a different race.
While women seem to be the key to creating future generations of haters, they may also just be the secret to breaking that cycle of hate.
This is really, really perverse stuff.
That is how Kirsten Kaiser now views the racist beliefs of her ex-husband, Kevin Alfred Strom, and she talked about it for the first time with 2020. She says that for nearly 9 years, he tried to convince her and their 3 children that his way was the only way.
All that he ever kept saying was how the Jews wanted to kill our son or rape our son or abduct our son. He always was making me read stuff about how every synagogue has to be built on the bones of a white male child.
So why did she stay? Kaiser claims it was a slow indoctrination.
They start as being these really nice, you know, bright, shining people. And that's really very, very appealing at a very core level. It's not until later that you start getting into all this mind control stuff. And so you don't realize that it's happening to you until it's like kind of too late.
So what finally drove her away from the hatred? She says it was her husband's reaction to news about these teenagers who discarded their newborn son in a dumpster and left him to die.
He said that it was a good thing that this had happened because the man had been a Gentile and the woman had been a Jew, and I just completely cracked. Just totally cracked at that point. It was an instantaneous thing that I realized that I was married to a monster, that I had aided and abetted a monster.
But the other women we've met in this story still seem determined to ensure that hatred survives, no matter what the cost.
What would you do if some years down the road, your son comes home and says, Mom, I know what you've taught me all these years, but I've met a black woman and I've fallen in love with her. What would you do?
How sad. I would spend probably many an evening crying, and I would say goodbye to him.
You'd say goodbye to him?
Yes, I would.
And have nothing to do with him?
Absolutely nothing.
Jack, how aggressively are these women recruiting other women?
What's interesting, Cynthia, is not only are they out there recruiting, but they're using the qualities that we often associate, the positive qualities with women: intelligence, organizational skills, compassion, and they're using those as recruiting tools, and they're being very effective with it.
Tell me, how is Kirsten Kaiser, the ex-wife of the neo-Nazi, what is her situation?
Right now, she's sharing custody of the children with her ex-husband. She's fighting for sole custody on her own. Also, she has said that the children are having a tough time reconciling the two very different views of right and wrong of their parents, and two of them are actually seeing psychologists.
Jack, it's such an interesting, important report.
It is indeed one that we have to pay attention to, Cynthia. And if you'd like more on this story, including exclusive video of women at a KKK ceremony, you can visit our website at 2020.abcnews.